How to design a clothing fashion brand that sells. If you're building a fashion brand based on how you feel, then you're going to lose money. The difference between a fashion brand that survives and one that fails isn't creativity, it's process. Most people think it's about creativity, trends, and ideas. But after 17 years of work in design, development, and commercial teams, I can tell you clearly the brands that actually succeed are not the most creative. They are the most structured. And more importantly, they remove emotion from decision making. So today I'm going to show you why organization is everything in fashion, why emotion decisions destroy brands, and the exact mindset shift you need if you want to build something profitable. The problem is, very often you will hear or you will say, I love this idea. I think this will sell. I feel like this is on trend. And that's not a strategy. That's just instinct. And instinct without structure leads to overbuying of stock, chasing trends that are too late in the day and they're not actually planned out, inconsistent branding, poor pricing, and cash flow issues. I've seen it again and again, and even at established brand stage, emotion shows up as designing what you like instead of what your customer needs or the solution that your customer is looking for, refusing to cut a product that isn't selling, and overcomplicating collections, ignoring data that is clearly staring you in the face from sales reports. And then money gets wasted, time gets wasted, and your brand loses direction. So process matters. It's the most important thing. A process gives you something most people don't have, and that's clarity and control. In the fashion industry, everything works in stages. So you research, you set a time scale, for research, strategy, design, development, sampling, production, and launch. Every major brand operates like this, not because it's corporate, but because it reduces risk. And there's a team of people analyzing and looking at the results. A process allows you to make decisions based on the data, based on positioning, connecting with the customer, so clarifying the designs through customer needs and requirements, and not emotion. Instead of saying, I love this jacket, let's produce it, a structured brand says, does this fit our customer profile, and does it fit our pricing architecture in regards to how much it costs to actually produce? Does this sit within the range plan? Can I validate this design? Does it answer all the questions around my brand and range planning and customer and brand story? That's how real brands operate. The power of being organized. Organization in fashion is not optional, it's operational. You need clarity across your product range and your pricing and your time frame, across your suppliers and your customer, because everything is connected. If your pricing is wrong, your margin collapses. If your range is too big, your stock doesn't sell. If your customer isn't clear, your marketing fails and your message fails. Organization equals profitability. When you're organized, you buy smarter. Your decision making is tighter and you design with purpose. You reduce waste. You scale faster and you scale more productively without any loss. The real industry truth: most successful designers are not the most talented, but they are the most disciplined. Removing emotion is critical, and it's a critical mindset that you need to move into. This is the hardest part and the most important. Detaching from your designs and detaching from your concept. You are not the customer, and your brand is not about what you like. You must separate your personal taste versus commercial decision making. For example, you might love the product, but if it doesn't sell, it's got to go. No attachment. If the figures aren't behind that shape, it means your customer doesn't like it. No ego involved, no emotion involved. Why this matters? Because emotion leads to overproduction, dead stock, inconsistent identity, whereas process leads to clarity, consistency, and profit. When I was in buying, if a garment or a style didn't perform against the predicted and the forecasted rate of sale, the style was dropped. Position yourself as the expert. Everything I teach is based on how the industry actually works. And this is how brands like Hugo Boss, White Company, and Whistles perform. Build and scale collections that are structured so they become intentional, and the styles and the process is repeatable. And as long as you follow that process, then you know you're following the industry development of a brand. And anything that doesn't work, you can definitely get behind it to say, well, we did that research, we did that marketing, we actioned that strategy. If you're serious about building a fashion brand properly, not just creatively, but commercially, I'm currently building a brand development guide. It breaks down the exact process used in the industry, step by step. If you want early access to understand when my framework launches, then comment the word fashion framework and I'll send you a link below. Thank you very much for listening. Until the next video, bye bye for now.